Hey there, my name is Simon Gotzen and you're watching Simon Says. For this episode I was torn between drafting the new cube with the cube tickets as prizes or to join one of the Mirage Visions Weatherlight queues. And we all love cube, but out of print drafting is one of the best ways to make a profit while drafting on Magic Online, especially compared to the rather low expected value of joining the regular draft queues. So I wanted to take a few minutes to talk about out of print drafting and why I decided to bring you a Mirage draft today. So why should you draft an out of print set when it's as long as it's available? Well, there is a high demand for out of print cards, and that's particularly true from Mirage block. Just think of Lion's Eye Diamond. So this high demand means you can make a very nice profit that pays for your next drafts just by picking up a single rare. On the other hand, you're also doing the legacy and classic community a service by putting more cards into the system. Every every out of print drafts that's paid for with tickets basically adds 24 opened packs and let's say 11 prize packs of this set to Magic Online. And that's very important for sets that haven't been drafted a lot. Of course, out of print drafting is also a personal challenge. Most likely you aren't going to have a lot of experience in the format, and it's regularly I really don't have a clue. I've never played the format before, so it's somewhat of a personal challenge, while at the same time the playing field isn't completely unfair, because let's face it, most people are going to be in a similar situation. Of course, there might be some guys that have drafted Mirage or Tempest when it was released in, I don't know, 96 or 97, but the overwhelming majority isn't going to be these kind of players. So as the last point, out of print cards are actually quite funny. You get to see, you get to look back in time and see how creatures stacked up during these medieval times, and you can try new cards, new keywords, new strategies. And well, that's something which is interesting, especially when you are waiting for a new block to release on Magic Online. Now, this is not really a guide, it's just a short list of things what you could do to prepare for out of print drafting. If you think, yeah, I would like to try it, but I'm scared of losing and not winning anything, there is a few rules, and the first one is to really know the value of unopened packs and singles on the secondary market, because nothing is worse than passing a $50 card and not knowing about it. The second point is to learn the keywords. It really helps to know what the format is about, and it will help you play better and draft better as well. If possible, you can also get some strategic input. So, for example, if you ever have a friend who has drafted the format before, or if there's some strategies available online, you can look that up. What I like to do is to check if there was a Pro Tour in this format and if there is text coverage on the mothership. If there is, you can usually get a very good idea of what the pros thought of the format at that time. And then maybe keep in mind that damage doesn't stack anymore and things like that. A couple of things have changed. And then hopefully you can make a nice profit from out of print drafting. Now today I'm going to show you a Mirage Visions Weatherlight draft. I haven't drafted this before. I did do 2 drafts before recording the next one, and I lost in the semifinals both times. I thought my decks were okay, but it was apparent that my lack of experience was a problem. Mirage is one of the most valuable out-of-print blocks. Cards like Lion's Eye Diamond and many more. The Tudor cycle is also in there, in the block. So you can really pay for a lot of drafts with a single card. The keywords are somewhat confusing in flanking, phasing, and banding. Flanking meaning that a blocking creature gets -1/-1 if it doesn't have flanking itself. Phasing can be summarized as the creature only being available every second turn. That changes when you untap. And then banding is probably one of the most complicated mechanics ever. When attacking, you can form a band of creatures where all but one creature has to have banding, and then they basically act as a one super creature. And when you block with a banding creature, if you do a multi-block of 2 or more creatures, of which one has banding, then you are going to assign the damage. The defender assigns the damage, which makes banding a very powerful defensive ability. Concerning the strategy, I really didn't have a clue. I know there is a common X spell and a couple of other good red cards in the format, so drafting red was already looking promising. There's also an article on this site that highlights both the most expensive cards in the format and gives a short guide to drafting red-green, which I read before doing these. And I'm sure that AJ can link to that somewhere here. And, well, there was also a point of avoiding blue, as it's considered one of the weaker colors in the format. That's what I read, at least. And if all fails, you can always trust your experience and intuition. At least that's what I rely on. Lands are going to be good. You're going to need around 17. Creatures are going to be good because they offer a continuous way of affecting the board. And, well, creatures are going to be a lot weaker than what we are used to, so we have to... We can't go into this with too high of expectations concerning the power level of creatures and rares and basically everything. I hope you enjoy this, and I'm looking forward to return to Ravnica, and see you next time.